The Pads went on day 5 of Arizona Cardinals Training Camp, and unfortunately, Cardinals playmaker Marvin Harrison Jr. goes viral for the wrong reasons. Another drop highlighted. How concerned are we? PHNX Cardinals, Bo Brack, Johnny Venerable hanging out with you. Hit that like button, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube, and let's not delay, even though we got a lot to talk about here as far as this camp day goes. But Marv put on blast yet again, Johnny, for drop here during the practices with Jacoby Brissett back at QB1.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Can't happen yet. It's training camp. It's practice. Now, if this wasn't already a habit that was established last year, I think people would kind of roll their eyes and just say, hey, new offense, working out the kinks. Relationship with Jacoby Brissett obviously needs some seasoning. But unfortunately, this is a continuation of maybe the confidence problem that we saw a year ago. It's funny. We talked about this on our live show. Like, I don't remember Marv dropping passes as a rookie. I really do feel like this is something that's manifested over the last 12 to 18 months. And I think it's a confidence thing, honestly. Maybe it's a confidence with lack thereof with the offense. Maybe it's the pressure in year 3. I mean, he doesn't look as comfortable as you would assume the former 4th overall pick should look. But that being said, and you've outlined this, he has plays where you're like, man, he looks great. He burnt Sean Murphy bunting in team 11-on-11 on Sunday's practice. We've got the footage of it. He had a couple instances on Tuesday's practice where he's running wide open. He does make the play. It can't cost the Cardinals games. That's 100% rock solid. Can't happen. That being said, I think he's going to work through this, and I think he's got the right head coach and play caller now, infrastructure, to be able to help him more so than what we saw from Drew Petzing a year ago.
Look, Marvin Harrison Jr. is under an immense amount of pressure. I mean, this was a guy that was taken 4th overall in a quarterback-dominated draft, and he was supposed to be the best wide receiver in a deep wide receiver class, and that hasn't really kind of developed for anybody, really. I mean, Malik Neighbors, due to the injury, and BTJ, he's kind of fallen out of favor in Jacksonville, and Roman Dunze has his own consistency problems. But as far as Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm sure he's feeling the pressure. He had the post before training camp that, he's kind of leaning into the hate instead of the positivity. He knew he needed love. It's going to come down to, absolutely. You have to kind of cut back on the drops. It's that simple at that position. But before, when he was playing in Drew Petzing's offense where he was not utilized correctly, the opportunities weren't there as I believe they're going to be there in this offense. Marv dropped the pass. He was wide open. And then he had 2 other catches in practice on Tuesday where he was wide ass open as well. And that's a positive just development as far as Michael LaFleur, who's going to be your primary play caller, and what his kind of superpower is as an offensive mind to scheme guys open. And if Marv just gets more and more opportunities like that, and it's not, hey, you have to go most of the time and win a 50-50 ball for success in this league, I think that's going to translate and bode well for the development of MHJ. So I'm not going to sit here and crush him for another viral moment. There have been a couple throughout his career, this one in practice, and people want to kind of make a meme out of it, and they want to make Marvin Harrison Jr. a punchline. I don't think that those are going to age very well if this offense continues to scheme him open.
Yeah, especially if the Cardinals are hidden in the afternoon slot with no primetime games. That'll help Marvin early in this season. We go from one 2024 first-rounder to another. Darius Robinson continues to look good, Bo, as it relates to the defensive line group that I think you would even go as far as to say it has surprised. It's been impressive. A year off of Calais Campbell obviously having a great year, but the disappointment with the defensive line group as a whole last year, there were injuries. Dalvin Tomlinson disappointed. Obviously, Darius Robinson has not been great. Is this an under-the-radar unit entering 2026 with guys like Roy Lopez, Darius, of course, Walter Nolan? Is this better than people think on the surface?
I think it has the absolute potential to do that, right? I mean, having a healthy Walter Nolan could change everything, right? We saw it only too few times in 2025 where he was available in 6 games, and you saw Walter Nolan every reason why they took him 16th overall. It's not a question of if, but as far as the talent, but can he stay healthy? Him being healthy, avoiding PUP, being now involved in position and team drills. You're seeing his impact already for Walter Nolan, and that translates and bodes well for everybody else on that defensive line. I like bringing back Rolo. He knows how to play the position. He was an underdog for the longest time. He jokes he's Mr. Arizona because he grew up here. His dad coached high school football here. He transferred to U of A, and then he's found his way at the NFL level and become a productive defensive lineman that fits this scheme for Nick Rallis. Plus, Darius Robinson, can you find how he can impact on a down-to-down basis? And then I like Andrew Billings, who's just a massive human being that just eats up space and opens up opportunities for everybody. So I like this defensive line. Can they make me love it by really kind of bucking any kind of expectations for them? Yeah, I think it's I could see that reality.
Rolo Lopez has been a good player since he left Arizona. And I think you look at that combination now with Walter Nolan, you feel better about that. Yeah. And then am I saying this in a form of disrespect? If you get anything out of Darius Robinson at this point, it's a win for you. Yeah. And he's looked like this at times, the last 2 training camps. But even today with the pads on the first day, as you mentioned, explosiveness that we haven't seen. We've talked about the power, speed to power, and the fact that he's built like the Incredible Hulk times Superman. I mean, like, can he? I mean, it's kind of similar to Marv. Can Walter Nolan take pressure off of Darius? Can Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, and Jeremiyah Love take pressure off of Marv and let these guys settle in and get back to just playing football again?
Yeah,
I've made this argument time and time again. The Arizona Cardinals were let down by the 2024 draft class, top to bottom. I include guys like Max Melton and Tip Ryman, Isaiah Adams. That has to change this year. That class has to be a focal point of their success.
Yeah. We'll get back to the offense here, but Jacoby Brissett was back at his QB1 role. Looked good. Jacoby made a great pass down the sideline to Michael Wilson. He was taking advantage of the wide open receivers streaking across the field. Not much to kind of report from Brissett as he gets up to speed as far as this offense goes, as far as those impacted by Brissett's return to QB1. Gardner Minshew goes to QB2. Gardner Minshew, by the way, he was wearing his game jersey today at practice. He was wearing his black alternate jersey while everybody else was wearing their practice jersey today. It was kind of an interesting sight. Talked to somebody who kind of knew a little bit about the situation. He said he came out and he said, "This was the jersey that was in my locker, so I wore it," and that's the explanation for that. As far as QB3, Carson Beck, who was holding down QB2 duties while Jacoby Brissett negotiated got his contract past the goal line there. Carson Beck, limited opportunities at QB3. And it just presents a larger and maybe a longer struggle for the 65th overall pick to eventually see the playing field.
We talked about on our live show on Tuesday, Jeremiyah Love's going to be the starter, but and his split 1 reps with Tyler Algier, but like not listed as a starter yet. Chase Basantis, not a starter yet at right guard. And then the first pick of the 3rd round, obviously he's not starting, but now is quarterback 3. This is a tough look for Monty. Now it's early in camp, but as far as Carson Beck goes, he's going to have a huge runway in the preseason. And I hope to hell he puts up gaudy numbers. If he doesn't, and we get to the point to start the regular season, like there is a chance where this could go longer than I thought ignorantly, that, I was thinking maybe Halloween or early October, maybe after the Giants game. The good news is this is all fluid. And this is really going to be dictated by the success or lack thereof of this team. Jacoby Brissett's playing well. Wins come more often than people think. 3.5, win over under total right now. If they're surpassing that early, it's like, okay, Jacoby Brissett's got the buy-in. He deserves to finish this year. But Bo, if they lose, and they lose in large quantities, Beck is going to play. Nobody, with all due respect, wants to see Gardner Minshew play meaningless games for this team. Keaton Slovis won't be on the roster. So, I mean, we people can dick around with the notion that, Beck was a reach and he's not ready to play and he hasn't blown people away in training camp. It does not matter. He is going to play this year. Yeah. So the sooner, assuming Brissett does not blow the world off, so the sooner people get on board with that, the sooner we can have an adult conversation about what's happening with number 19. He's a rookie. He looks like a rookie.
We'll have an adult conversation here to wrap things up as far as Jeremiyah Love's role. I am not feeding into the fear that there's going to be some sort of coaching malpractice that is going to stunt the third overall pick's ability to find success in this league. People are latching on to comments from a non-play calling offensive coordinator, factually calling a rookie, says he looks like a rookie, to how they deploy Jeremiyah Love in practice. Tyler Algier came out the first series with this Cardinals starting offense, and then Jeremiyah Love rotated in and actually came out with the first team offense the next 3 series. And if you look at it, 3-1, that's how I envision this kind of workload going, despite Algier getting first crack at it. And it's not something that I think needs to be made a big deal of unless we get to the regular season in that things change up. But the investment in Jeremiyah Love, the talent that Jeremiyah Love has, I think it's just undeniable, and the Cardinals couldn't stand to not have him on the field in a big part of this offense in 26.
He's the best running back on the team. He's the highest paid running back in terms of guarantees in the NFL. He's going to be their starter. It's low-hanging fruit because it's not even August yet. Everybody hasn't started camp. I mean, we got a long way to go until week 1, but rest assured, when they go to LA at SoFi Stadium and they play the Chargers in the late afternoon window, number 4 will be lined up in the backfield on the opening possession of that game. And I'm pretty confident the first touch is going to go to Jeremiyah Love because I think this team's going to want to run the football consistently. I know they are. And if this team is going to survive this gauntlet of a schedule, that's why you took him. You didn't take him to do a split backfield. You didn't take him to screw around and tell your fans this is a long-term play. Like right now, it looks like Carson Beck could be a long-term play. Running back is not. It's an instant return on investment, a la Ezekiel Elliott, a la what Bijan Robinson should have been without Arthur Smith. Like the Cardinals, we blow them a lot of flack on this show. This is something I'm very confident they will get right.
I agree. Are you concerned, though, about Marvin Harrison Jr.'s drops or Jeremiyah Love's role, or that you might not see back until maybe after the bye? Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube.